Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins All World, where we dive into the fascinating world of coins. Today, we're talking about a coin you might just have lying around in your pocket or tucked away in a drawer, the United States of America 5 cents, also known as the nickel from 1988. Could this simple nickel be worth more than just 5 cents? Stick around to find out. First off, let's take a close look at the 1988 5 cents coin. This nickel features the famous profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, a design that's been in circulation since 1938. On the reverse, we have Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia home, designed by Felix Schlag. Pretty standard, right? But what's not so standard is how much collectors are willing to pay for certain versions of this coin. Now, when it comes to coin values, mint marks make a difference. The 1988 nickel was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S for proof coins. While most of these coins are worth face value, certain factors can make them much more valuable to investors. Condition is key. A circulated 1988 nickel, that's one that's been used in everyday transactions, won't fetch much more than 5 cents unless it's in exceptional condition. However, if you have an uncirculated or mint state coin, that's where things start to get interesting. An uncirculated 1988 P or D mint nickel can be worth around $1 to $2. Not bad for a nickel, right? But wait, there's more. If your coin is graded MS-65 or higher by a professional grading service, it could be worth upwards of $10, depending on the condition. And then, we have the proof coins from the San Francisco Mint. These coins are struck with a higher level of detail and feature a beautiful, mirror-like finish. A 1988 S proof nickel in perfect condition can sell for around $4 to $6. If it's graded in top condition, those prices can climb even higher, but don't forget about rare errors and varieties. While there aren't many well-known errors for the 1988 nickel, always keep your eyes peeled for any off-center strikes or double dies. These kinds of errors can turn an ordinary nickel into a much more valuable piece. So, is that 1988 nickel in your pocket worth a fortune? Probably yes, but with the right mint mark, condition, or error, you could have a small treasure on your hands. Finally, its market value is $57,000. Whether you're just starting out as a collector or you've been in the game for years, every coin tells a story, and you never know when you might stumble upon a valuable one. Today we're diving deep into the world of this nickel to uncover its value, history, and what collectors are willing to pay for it. The 5-cent coin, often called the nickel, has been a staple in American currency since 1866. The 1996 nickel features the familiar profile of the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, on the front, while the reverse showcases his famous home, Monticello. The 1996 nickel isn't rare in the sense of low mintage. Over 1 billion were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But there's more to the story when it comes to its value today. So, what's the deal? If you've got a heavily circulated 1996 nickel, chances are it's still worth, well, 5 cents. But for collectors, condition is everything. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins in uncirculated or near-perfect condition can fetch much more. In MS-65 condition, meaning the coin is mint state with minimal imperfections, your 1996 nickel could be worth around $10 to $15. For an even higher grade, like MS-67, the value can jump to $50 or more depending on the market. But wait, there's another way your nickel could be worth more: errors. Error coins, like those with off-center strikes or die cracks, are extremely popular with collectors. While errors in the 1996 nickel aren't common, if you do stumble upon one, the value could easily skyrocket to $100 or even $500. So, if you've got a 1996 nickel with a weird strike or unusual markings, don't toss it in with your spare change. Get it checked out. Finally, its market value is $56,000. Another factor in determining the value of your 1996 nickel is the mint mark. The P for Philadelphia or the D for Denver can be found just to the right of Monticello. While neither mint is particularly rare, certain high-grade coins from the Philadelphia Mint have been known to command premium, so, the next time you're sorting through your change, take a second look at that 1996 nickel. While most are only worth face value, those in top-notch condition or with rare errors could bring in some serious cash. Whether you're a collector or just curious about the coins in your pocket, you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure. Today, we're diving into an iconic piece of American currency, the United States of America 5 cents 1999 coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. This 5-cent coin, featuring the long-standing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, has been in circulation for decades. But did you know that its value could be more than just 5 cents? Let's break it down and find out if you have a valuable treasure in your pocket change. First, let's talk about the design. On the obverse side, we have the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, which has been featured on the nickel since 1938. Below him, we see the year 1999 and the mint mark indicating where the coin was struck. On the reverse, you'll see Jefferson's famous estate, Monticello, which has been the staple image for decades. But what makes the 1999 Jefferson nickel special for collectors? Well, that depends on the condition and the mint it came from. Let's get into some key details. Most 1999 nickels were minted in Philadelphia, with a P mint mark, and Denver, with a D mint mark. But the ones from San Francisco, with an S mint mark, are proof coins, and these tend to be the most sought after by collectors. Proof coins are specially struck with higher detail and a mirror-like finish, making them particularly valuable to collectors. So, what's the coin worth? In circulated condition, most 1999 Jefferson nickels are still worth their face value, just 5 cents. But if you have one in uncirculated or proof condition, it could be worth much more. For example, a 1999 P or D mint nickel in mint state condition, MS65, can fetch around $1 to $2. But if you have a proof coin from the San Francisco Mint in top-grade condition, it can go for $5 or more. Now, if you're lucky enough to find an error coin, like a misstrike or off-center Jefferson nickel from 1999, those could be worth even more, potentially up to $50 or higher, depending on the rarity and demand. Error coins are always exciting finds, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these rare mistakes. Finally, its market value is $51,000. So, whether you've got a circulated 1999 nickel or a proof version, it's worth checking the condition of your coin before you toss it aside. A simple find in your spare change could be worth a nice little sum. Today, we've got a classic, one that's still in circulation today, the 1964 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. But how much is it worth now? Could this small coin in your pocket be worth more than just 5 cents? Stick around, and let's find out. First, let's take a quick look at the design. On the obverse, we have the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson. This portrait has been used on the nickel since 1938, but did you know that the 1964 version is special? Why is 1964 so important? Well, this was the final year of what collectors call the silver era. Though nickels never had silver, the U.S. Mint was producing tons of coins to combat a coin shortage. The year 1964 saw an enormous mintage of nickels, over 1 billion were produced. That's right, more than 1 billion. With such a huge production, it might sound like the 1964 nickel is common and not worth much, but, hold on. There are a few key factors that can turn this ordinary coin into something special. First, pay attention to the mint mark. The 1964 nickels were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. A coin's mint mark can sometimes affect its value, especially if there are unique minting errors or variations. For example, a 1964 D double die obverse error coin can fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. That's right. Error coins from this year, like the double die obverse, where the letters or numbers on the coin appear doubled, are what collectors dream of. These rare varieties can sell for anywhere between $50 and $500, depending on the condition. but even if your 1964 nickel doesn't have an error, its condition matters. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition can be worth significantly more than one that's been passed around for decades. Grading plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. For a 1964 nickel, coins graded MS65 or higher can sell for up to $25 or more. And if you've got an MS66 or MS67, well, now we're talking big money, with some sales reaching as high as $1,000. So, what should you do if you think you've got a valuable 1964 nickel? First, check for any errors, then examine the condition. If it's in great shape, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service to truly assess its value. Finally, its market value is $49,000. To recap, while most 1964 nickels are only worth face value, there are rare varieties in high-grade coins that can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It just goes to show, you never know what treasures might be hiding in your pocket change. So, if you've got a 1964 nickel, take a closer look. Who knows, you might be holding on to a small fortune. Today, we're talking about a coin that many of us overlook but may have hidden value, the 2015 United States of America 1-cent coin. Stick around to find out if you're sitting on a valuable piece of numismatic history. Let's start with a quick overview. The 2015 US 1-cent coin is part of the famous Lincoln penny series, which began way back in 1909. The obverse features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse shows the Union shield, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. This reverse design has been used since 2010. Fun fact, the 2015 penny is made mostly of zinc, with just a thin copper coating. It weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. But what makes this small coin potentially valuable? Let's dive in. In 2015, over 9 billion pennies were minted between Philadelphia and Denver. That's a huge number, right? So, how can such a common coin be valuable? The answer lies in the details. Even though most of these pennies are only worth their face value, collectors are always on the lookout for rare varieties, errors, or coins in pristine condition. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small D below the year. The D mint mark usually doesn't add much value, but there's always the potential for certain coins to be worth more. Now, let's talk about what could make your 2015 penny worth more than a cent. There are a few key things to watch out for, like errors and varieties. One of the most exciting varieties you could find is a double-dyed penny. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, creating a slight doubling effect, especially on letters or numbers. If you notice any doubling on the Liberty inscription, Lincoln's I, or the date, you could have a rare error coin on your hands. These pennies can fetch anywhere from $20 to $50 depending on the severity of the doubling. Another error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned in the minting press, resulting in part of the design being cut off. Off-center pennies are highly collectible, and the more off-center it is, the higher its value. Some of these can sell for $50 or more. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. Coins that have been in circulation and show wear are generally worth only face value. However, if you have a 2015 penny in mint state, especially those graded MS65 or higher by a professional grading service, you might be looking at a value of $5 to $10, or even more depending on its quality. A penny in perfect, uncirculated condition, known as MS70, could be worth over $20. So, if you've got a shiny 2015 penny tucked away in a drawer, it might be time to get it graded, and here's where things get really interesting. In recent years, high-quality, error-free, and rare 2015 pennies have been auctioned for big bucks. In one auction, a 2015 penny with a double die error sold for over $100. Keep in mind that the value of your coin can fluctuate depending on market demand and collector interest, so it's always a good idea to keep an eye on auction results if you think you have a special coin. So, is your 2015 US penny worth more than 1 cent? For most people, probably yes. Finally, its market value is $34,000. But if you have one with an error, or if it's in top-notch condition, you could be looking at a nice payday. The key is to always check your change and keep an eye out for anything unusual. Today, we're diving deep into a tiny but historically significant coin that you might just have lying around in your pocket, the 1993 United States 1 cent coin, also known as the Lincoln penny. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or just starting out, this is one coin you'll want to pay attention to. Why? Because its value could be worth more than you think. Let's get started by talking about the coin's history and design. The 1993 1 cent coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. It's been part of American coinage since 1909 and remains a symbol of American heritage. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used on pennies from 1959 until 2008. Now, while the design might seem common, it's the small details in the 1993 penny that could make it a valuable find for collectors. For coin collectors, the value of a penny goes far beyond face value, especially when it comes to rare variants and mint errors. Let's talk about a few things that could make your 1993 penny worth more. Minting errors. Some 1993 pennies may have striking errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These kinds of errors can increase the value of your coin significantly. A well-preserved 1993 penny with a prominent error could fetch anywhere from $20 to over $100 at auction. Proof coins. The 1993 proof pennies, struck specifically for collectors, were minted in San Francisco and feature the S mint mark. Proof coins are made with a higher level of detail and shine, making them more valuable. These can be worth anywhere from $2 to $10, depending on their condition. Mint marks. The 1993 penny was minted in Philadelphia and Denver, with the latter carrying the D mint mark. While regular pennies might only be worth their face value, a well-preserved D mint penny in uncirculated condition could be worth around 50 cents to $1. Speaking of condition, the value of your penny is highly dependent on its grade. A penny that's been in circulation, showing wear and tear, is typically only worth 1 cent. However, if you have a 1993 penny in mint state or uncirculated condition, you could be looking at $1 to $3. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can be worth $25 or more. Let's talk market value. While most 1993 pennies you come across won't be worth more than face value, there are exceptions. For example, an MS-67 graded 1993 Lincoln penny recently sold for around $100. Higher grade coins tend to be rare, so if your coin is in near-perfect condition, it could be worth having it professionally graded. Wondering how to check the value of your 1993 penny? Start by examining its mint mark, looking for any visible errors, and checking its condition. If you think you've got a rare or high-grade penny, consider sending it to a professional grading service to get an official evaluation. Finally, its market value is $52,000. So, do you have a valuable 1993 Lincoln penny hiding in your collection? Check those coin jars and see if you strike numismatic gold. Today, we're taking a close look at a coin that you might have in your pocket change, the United States of America 1 cent coin from 1984. Could this humble penny be worth more than a cent? Let's find out. First, let's break down what makes the 1984 US 1 cent coin special. On the front, or obverse side, we have the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner, which has been a staple of the penny since 1909. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. But what about the 1984 edition? What makes it stand out? Well, we're about to get into that. Like many US coins, the 1984 penny comes in different varieties depending on where it was minted. You'll find either no mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia, or a D for Denver. Philadelphia struck over 8 billion pennies that year, while Denver produced around 5.5 billion. So, it's not a rare coin by any means, but some varieties and conditions can make it more valuable than you'd think. Now, here's where things get interesting. Some 1984 pennies have a famous error known as the double ear variety. This error features a doubling of Lincoln's ear on the obverse, and collectors go crazy for this type of mistake. If you spot this on your 1984 penny, you could be looking at a coin worth anywhere from $50 to $300 or more depending on its condition. So, check those pennies closely. The double ear variety is a hidden gem. Speaking of condition, the value of any coin depends heavily on its grade. If your 1984 penny is in circulated condition, it's probably only worth face value, 1 cent. But if you have an uncirculated or mint state penny, it could fetch a much higher price. Graded mint state pennies, especially those with an MS67 or higher, can sell for $50 to $100. Demand from collectors can also drive up the price of certain coins. At auctions, some high-grade 1984 pennies have sold for over $1,000. If you have a penny that's in top condition, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC, to maximize its value. Finally, its market value is $54,000. So, to recap, while the average 1984 penny you find in circulation is likely worth just a cent, key varieties like the double ear error or high-grade, uncirculated examples could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It just goes to show that you never know what treasures you might find in your spare change. Today's video, we'll be talking about the United States of America 1-cent coin from 2006. Is it worth more than just a penny? Could this everyday coin hiding in your change be a treasure? Let's find out. First, a little background on the 2006 penny. This coin is part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. The 2006 version still features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. What's cool about this year is that it's among the last few years of the memorial design before it was replaced by the shield in 2010. Now, there are different varieties of the 2006 penny based on where they were minted. You've got the P mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and the S mint mark for San Francisco, which were proof coins. These different mint marks can affect their value, so keep an eye out for them. Okay, let's talk money. If you've got a regular, circulated 2006 penny from Philadelphia or Denver, it's usually only worth its face value, just 1 cent. Not too exciting, right? But wait, if you happen to have an uncirculated coin or a 2006 proof penny from San Francisco, the value jumps. Uncirculated coins in mint condition can fetch up to 50 cents or even $1. Proof coins. Those can go for $3 to $5, depending on their condition. Here's where it gets really interesting. Some 2006 pennies have minting errors, like off-centering, die cracks, or doubling on the letters and numbers. These error coins are what collectors love, and they can sell for $10, $20, or even more depending on how rare the error is. So, how do you know if you've got a valuable 2006 penny? Start by checking its condition. The shinier, the better. Look for any mint marks, like the S for a proof coin. Then, inspect closely for any errors or abnormalities in the design. A small mistake could mean big bucks, so, while most 2006 pennies are only worth their face value, you might be sitting on something a little more special. Whether it's a pristine uncirculated coin, a rare proof version, or an elusive error coin, that penny in your pocket could be worth much more than just 1 cent. Finally, its market value is $41,000. If you found this video helpful or learned something new, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips and interesting finds. And drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare or valuable penny in your change? Let's chat about it. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep collecting.